instead of preparing for the future. Guyanese, hear me. This is a choice you face in this election on September 1st. The PPP civic government has brought you stability. We have brought you economic growth. We brought you widespread development. We are building a social safety net. And we are doing so responsibly and stably. Those many groups.
Guyanese brothers and sisters, and I'm speaking about average Guyanese, the working class, both public and private sector, the non-partisan parts of Guyana. I'm not speaking to the slacktivists of the People's Progressive Party Civic, because I am fully aware, like many of my brothers and sisters are fully aware, that as soon as Mr. President unveiled just the paper with his speech from his pocket, the slacktivists of the PPP already bought it, already left a like, and already left a comment saying that is the greatest president Guyana has ever seen. But to the logical thinkers, who is Mr. President doing this speech for? I'm speaking about the 48% of Guyanese that are on paper and on Google living at and below the poverty line on just 1,000 Guyana dollars per day, $5 US. Who is Mr. President doing this speech for? The president is saying over our heads that they provided stability for Guyanese. Guyana is rich, but a high percentage of Guyanese people are poor. And the people that are making it somewhat, that are just above the poverty line, surviving, they have to sell their vices and to sell their integrity to the wicked regime of the People's Progressive Party Civic. Now there is no doubt, Guyanese people are strong, we're cooperative, we're a loving, peaceful set of people. But for some reason, our governments seem to take that as a weakness, as a sign of weakness, and they exploit it. Speeches that I hear from the president, speeches that I hear from the vice president concerning the economic development of this country, it never is about Guyanese developing. It is always about their systems developing, and it is always about infrastructure. And they've forgotten the heart and soul, the engine of this well-oiled machine Guyana, which is the people that build and run the ministries in this country. The president that is speaking about the promises that the groups that are going to be contending against them for these elections, the same promises the People's Progressive Party Civic would have made to us. When this same person here, Mr. President, would have been in Parliament, lamenting, prostrating.
What about the nurses? The teachers? What about the police workers? The police officers?
And we know Mr. President wasn't speaking about in an entire term. He would have been speaking about in 1 year. And though the earnings of this country have multiplied 500%, with the same Excellency Mohamed Ifran Ali sitting in the seat of government for 5 years of the fastest growing economy, they have not increased the salary beyond 15% for Guyanese. Even though the earnings of the country, the gross domestic product, has gone up 600%. Brothers and sisters, those are the facts you need to know. Pay no attention to the malarkey of these great orators. Great spokesmanship and great oratory is a necessary character of a politician. And these guys are going to use their wit, their malarkey, and the literature against you to cloud your judgment. Use the illusion of inclusion against you to cloud your judgment. The issuing of contracts to cloud your judgment. The issuing of grants to cloud your judgment. And I don't want you guys to lose sight that each and every resource in this country, everything that is Guyana, belongs to Guyanese. Belongs to each and every Guyanese, every race, every culture, political standing, it belongs to you. And once this country is thriving, as long as Guyana is being regarded as the fastest growing economy, each and every Guyanese should be rich. And we're not asking for the handouts in the forms of grants that this People's Progressive Party Civic government want to entice us with, so we forget about the facts on the ground. We're speaking about having respect for the labor force. When I hear Mr. President speak about the teachers and that they rose salaries, it's like if Mr. President just forgot that they had the children of this nation just last year home for a collective of 75 days, missing out on their educational, constitutional right in the fastest growing economy. And Mr. President speaks about caring about children and talks about stably and talks about patience, while their government continue to allow the oil giants that extract our oil to rev up their extraction of the oil under a slave contract that we are signed to with ExxonMobil and the other giants. Instead of our great government that is full of all these men that are wise, slow down the extraction of the oil. Not slow it down, but control, so that the contract that was signed gets re-signed, redone, renegotiated, and then we get value for our oil. These geniuses have revved up the extraction of our oil, and they're speaking about the ant and the grasshopper. In this case, Guyanese brothers and sisters, in that story of the ant and the grasshopper, the thousands of Guyanese that live at the poverty line, you guys are the ant. And you guys continue to trod on this wine press, just open for survival, trying to store up what you can. And the People's Progressive Party, Civic, right now, they are stomping around Guyana like the grasshoppers. Them and their affiliates and cohorts are having fun while you work hard, sacrifice your life, dedicate yourself to systems, to build the nation and to man the ministries. And for it, you get stoned for bread. And then after all of that, after the 5 years that the government of Guyana has had the fastest growing economy and opportunities to transform and transcend the lives of Guyanese, real development for Guyanese, more money in the pockets of Guyanese. We're not being unreasonable. We're not asking for higher salaries than Barbados and than Grenada. We're just asking for this great government that has earned so much money, that say they love us so, like Mr. President is telling us, don't gamble. We're just asking for salaries to mirror Barbados, and they wouldn't give it to us. They continue to tell us about development, while they continue to enrich their affiliates and cohorts to build substandard roads that continually have to be rebuilt, which is a squander of our wealth. Brothers and sisters, they continue to tell you that they're improving education, building schools at inflated estimation costs, so they enrich themselves and their affiliates and their cohorts, while the numbers that matter, that matriculation rate, continues to stay stagnant and continues to dwindle under this government. Brothers and sisters, infrastructure, the schools that are already done, the plumbing is bad, doors are bad, furniture that have been torn apart for so long, and now the handymen got to keep knocking them together. Brothers and sisters, this is the reality on the ground. Voting for the People's Progressive Party, Civic, in this election will be the worst decision the Guyanese can make. Because if they've done so much, knowing that they need our vote today, and they believe that today they can buy our conscience, buy our memory, buy our logical thinking, by giving us contracts after ignoring us from 92 to 2015, and then ignoring us from 2020 to 2023. The People's Progressive Party, Civic, really thinks little of you, brothers and sisters. They know you guys have short memories, and they know everything that is you, that your grandparents and your parents passed on to you. They know that they can buy it out for cheap, brothers and sisters. While I can tell you guys, the standing government is going to make pledges, but you guys already see the fiber of these men. The fiber of these men. Mr. President himself prostrating in Parliament, and when he got into office, they ignored the unions. The Vice President doubled down, said we should ask for 50%. Ignore the unions, and that is just one point. I want you guys to remember that. Because if they cared about development for Guyanese, they would first make sure that they compensate us, appreciate us, and respect us enough to pay us salaries that makes us feel dignified, that makes our children feel proud of us, because we can afford not even the best, but things for them, so that we can afford computers for them, phones for them, so we can have transportation, take our children out of the sun. This government, in the fastest growing economy, have teachers earning a pittance. Teachers, professionals are living, and nurses are living like minimalists on minimum wage type salary. And the minimum wagers, they are in the 48% that are living at and below the poverty line. So ask yourself, brothers and sisters, who exactly is moving with haste? Is it the Guyanese people and the progression of Guyanese, or is it the PPP and their affiliates and the cohort? A vote for the PPP this year is for a continuation of the exploitation of Guyanese wealth, so that them and their affiliates and cohorts can enjoy it, while 48% of you live at the poverty line.